Whoa, hello there. I almost didn't see you come in. I totally saw you come in, don't worry about it. A Knife's Tale here. And I'm bringing you today a summary of a knife I've done a full review on. The full review will be linked in below, and more importantly, I hope this video finds you well. What are we looking at today? This is a Pena X Series Raptor. I think it's the V2 Raptor, or it's the latest version of the Raptor with the inlays and everything. This is a Riot-made knife, and I really like the Pena X series. I like Pena's knives in general, just some of them tend to be a little bit too small for me, so there are certain ones that I would like to try out, but I'm not a big fan of like 2.75 inches of blade or less, really. This, however, is actually I believe it's the XL Raptor? Raptor XL? Hold on, I think it says it right here. Yes, Raptor XL. This is the large version, which is also still not very big. I will talk about how big it is right now. Just about 3¼ inches of blade, 7 3/8 overall. Of course, the full specs are in the full review. More details and everything will be in there, which is, of course, linked down below again. This is a really nice and sort of elegant knife. And I really liked when they came out with these new versions with these inlays. They really look good and they feel like a little something extra. And I'll be honest with you, I like the price on them too. Most Pena X series knives are priced pretty well for what you get. Let's take a quick look at the knife itself, of course, and then we'll talk about the pricing. What do you got? You got a sheep's foot blade. You got a thin, deep, hollow ground knife in M390. As I said, Riot made Pena X series logo there. I kind of wish the X series wasn't there and just said Pena up there personally, but I prefer the branding on the flats if it's going to be there at all. This is, as you can see, a front flipper, but it is also a top flipper, and it is very, very easy to actuate with your thumb, or your index finger, and your thumb. It is centered, there's no play, super thin, very nice hollow grind. This thing cuts very well. It is a titanium handle frame lock with inlays, and as you can see, and I have to admit, I'm not a super big swayback fan. In fact, I kind of prefer this knife not to be a swayback because I like the look of it up here. But I prefer not to be a swayback, but even as someone who's not a super swayback fan, this one is pretty good. It works, it's comfortable, it's very nice. It's still good looking, though I wouldn't mind seeing a non-swayback version of this knife. But the Raptor, as far as I know, is only swayback. The Apache is slightly different. I think the Apache is the non-swayback one, but the Apaches tend to be... I don't think there's an XL version, and they look a little bit different. I like this sort of aggressive blade shape. Similar blade shape on the Apache, but there's a few like angles and things are different. I guess maybe angles of the blade and everything. Straight edge, sheep's foot, very utilitarian blade shape. It's going to perform, it's going to cut. Super neutral ergonomics. Even for the swayback, which does sit in your hand a little bit, does sort of cant the blade back a little bit further than you might think, instead of having a forward aggressive cant. It's back a little bit, but that's the swayback, right? Lanyard pin, hidden lanyard pin. There is a backspacer on there, titanium milled pocket clip. It is on bearings, and the stop pin is way up in there, so of course that nice big cutout that Pena does for his choil, even though the plunge grind does come down to the edge, it gives you a little extra life, and you can always just cut in a little bit more. You're not going to have too much issue with that. The clip is a little tight, I will admit, but good retention. No tap, all the good stuff that you want to see. There is actually no milling on the inside of this knife. I guess it's all here, with it, which is, in this particular case, a white, like ivory canvas micarta. There were a couple different variants. I don't know if there are really any of this particular knife still floating around. But there were carbon fiber. There was a fancy one with Damasteel and I think Zircutai? Mokutai? Something. There is really very little to no actual lock bar cutback access, but they've chamfered it out in a way that it sort of just kind of catches you really well and works. I can actually get it from the side consistently, despite that. So it really is just all about execution a lot of times, and, well, Pena and Riot know what they're doing, I guess. Love to see that. The pocket depth is, medium to, yeah, I'd say that's medium carry. It kind of gets wide into a big chunk there, so it's pretty easy to pull out of the pocket, but medium depth. Honestly, yeah, there's not a whole lot here. It's pretty straightforward. Frame lock on bearings, nice grind, nice geometry, super thin, good quality, no complaints, right? Centered, without play. Kind of what you expect from Riot. But the big seller for me on the Pena X Series ones is that almost all of the base models are pretty uniformly across the board $274. Why $274? I don't know. But historically, they've all been right there. With the Damasteel ones, I believe I've had a Damasteel Lanny's clip point. I did sell that because I didn't love the Damasteel pattern on it, but, I mean, it is Damasteel. With carbon fiber bolster lock, right? It's a slightly smaller knife, not that much smaller. That's also one of the larger ones, but I think that was $374 in Damasteel and carbon fiber. It's like, no matter what you do, most knives in the Pena lineup, whether it's his smallest knife, the Caballero kind of smaller ones, to even some of the larger, I think it's called the Sicario, that were in M4, I believe, $274, almost across the board, unless they have something special going on, like Crane's Cutlery has a lot of it, tends to get some exclusive variants of Pena knives. When he was coming out with more consistently, they had a lot of ones with the Damasteel and Zircutai or Mokutai or inlays. They were, of course, a little bit more, but again, just adding the Damasteel onto the knife or just adding like Mokutai typically adds just $100, and then a certain amount depending on what else you have going on. That's a good price for Riot made knives with a name like Pena, good designs, gentlemanly kind of thing. That is pretty much what's one of the best things about these, is that you're getting a really solid knife for a pretty reasonable price point. Like, a lot of times when you see collab knives or Riot OEM knives for someone, they're easily in the $350 range. These are almost $100 less for their base version. You get Damasteel for what a lot of the other ones go for. So, yeah. I like them. Oh, and they're also almost all contoured. This is contoured as well. So, yeah. These are good knives. I don't really have much else to say about this. It's a quick summary. Nice smooth action. All the good stuff. Check out the full review for more. And I'm going to actually end things here and say thank you for watching. Have a great day. Consider liking and subscribing. Particularly subscribing, I would greatly appreciate it. It would help the channel. And that is all. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Bye. Okay, sure. Stumble on the exits. Yeah, sure. See you over there. See ya.